The agency has specifically been instructed to hide Harry and Meghan's identity from the applicant. They just want to make sure you're comfortable working with Meghan because of her reputation.
It started as just another whisper in the endless swirl of royal gossip, but that whisper has now exploded into something far bigger, a full-blown legal hurricane tearing through Meghan Markle's carefully crafted world. Once dubbed the Forgotten Duchess, Meghan now finds herself at the center of a courtroom showdown that's turning her royal reputation upside down. And guess who's stepping right back into the chaos? None other than her estranged half-sister, Samantha Markle. But this isn't the same old family feud we've seen before. No, Samantha is furious, prepared, and she's walking into court carrying what insiders are calling a mountain of receipts. Those close to Meghan are said to be panicking behind the scenes, whispering that the Duchess's inner circle is trembling because this time, Samantha isn't playing nice. The drama has reached new heights. And what began as a family dispute has spiraled into something much darker, much more dangerous. Let's take a step back, because this mess, it's gone way beyond some tabloid splash or bitter sisterly spat. What's happening now feels choreographed. Almost like a strategic legal takedown aimed straight at Meghan's empire, the image she's been polishing ever since that unforgettable Oprah interview. Remember that one? The tears, the heartbreak, the global sympathy? Back then, the world saw Meghan as the victim, the brave duchess fighting the system. But this time, that very same story is being torn apart from the inside. Back when Samantha's first lawsuit failed, everyone thought that was the end. The judge had ruled that Meghan's controversial comments were personal opinions, not factual enough to stand trial. Meghan seemed untouchable. But here's the twist. That very ruling turned out to be a blueprint for Samantha's comeback. Legal insiders say it was like giving her team a cheat sheet, a map showing exactly how to hit harder next time. And they have. This new appeal doesn't waste time on old wounds. It slices right into something much more dangerous intent. Samantha's lawyers are now arguing that Meghan didn't just speak her truth, she built it, crafted it, designed it fully aware it would destroy her half-sister's reputation. They're not asking whether Meghan was honest. They're asking why she said what she said. And that single shift in focus could change everything. Because now, it's not about what Meghan said, it's about what she knew when she said it. That changes the game completely. Suddenly, this isn't a tearful family feud, it's a case about power, about whether Meghan used her global fame as a weapon to silence the sister she wanted erased from her perfect narrative. And the bombshell? Samantha's team claims they have proof. Emails, texts, even voice recordings, all allegedly showing that Meghan and her inner circle knew exactly what fallout would follow and went ahead anyway. If that's true, this wasn't coincidence. It was calculation. A cold, deliberate move to lift Meghan's brand higher while tossing Samantha's reputation under the royal bus. And here's where things explode, because remember that Netflix documentary, the glossy global series that painted Meghan and Harry as victims of cruelty and lies? Well, that series is now Exhibit A in Samantha's lawsuit. Legal experts are calling it the second wave of defamation. Why? Because unlike the Oprah interview, which was one emotional night, this documentary was a long-term production, filmed, edited, reviewed, and released to millions. Every line, every shot, every quote went through layers of approval, which means Meghan had every chance to rethink her words. Yet, she didn't. And the scale? Unbelievable. The show reached over 200 million homes, translated into multiple languages. For Samantha, that meant her image wasn't just hurt, it was broadcast to the entire world. Lawyers say this isn't just emotional pain anymore, it's quantifiable, global damage, backed by data. Samantha's legal team calls it weaponized storytelling. They argue Netflix didn't just retell old accusations, it magnified them. With dramatic music, intense editing, and narrative manipulation, the show painted Samantha as the villain. If even part of that argument holds in court, Meghan's defense could shatter. Because once intent and falsehood intertwine, it's no longer freedom of speech, it's defamation. And Samantha's attorneys are all in. Their appeal isn't politely asking the court to reconsider. It's demanding justice. Sources whisper that even the judges are paying close attention. And for Meghan, this could be her most dangerous moment yet. Not in the tabloids, but in the courtroom. This fight is heading straight for the courtroom, and this time, Meghan can't control the narrative. No Netflix crew, no sympathetic cameras. Just cold, hard evidence. And Samantha's team? They're reportedly armed with it all. Screenshots, verified timestamps, police reports, even psychiatric evaluations ready to show just how devastating the aftermath really was. Those close to Samantha describe a horrifying spiral: death threats, stalking, and doxing. Not a few trolls, hundreds. It got so bad that law enforcement had to intervene. The abuse wasn't random. It came in waves, each one matching Meghan's major public appearances. Samantha's lawyers call it influencer harassment, a chilling theory that claims celebrities can ignite digital mobs without saying a word, simply by framing someone as an enemy. And they say that's exactly what Meghan did. She didn't stop the storm, she let it rage and maybe even used it. By painting Samantha as toxic, Meghan, according to the suit, knew precisely what she was doing, unleashing a flood of online hate from her most loyal defenders. If the judge agrees, this could become a landmark case redefining defamation in the age of social media. Because this isn't just about gossip anymore, it's about accountability when storytelling causes real, measurable harm. Meghan's not being accused of harsh words, she's being accused of turning fame into a weapon. For Samantha, it's not just about reputation anymore, it's her mental health, her safety, her life. Samantha's lawyers are reportedly bringing in mental health professionals to testify that she suffered PTSD, anxiety, and emotional trauma directly from Meghan's public remarks. They have therapy notes, prescriptions, and medical documents ready. This isn't a family spat. It's a crisis, one that changed the course of Samantha's life forever. Because if Samantha's team can prove Meghan built her story knowing the chaos it would cause, then her entire defense, the idea of telling my truth, collapses. The tension around this case has now reached boiling point. The world isn't just watching, it's dissecting every move, every whisper, every glance between the two sisters. And what's truly shocking is how this legal drama has outgrown both of them. It's no longer just Meghan versus Samantha, it's Meghan versus the image she created. Inside her camp, sources describe growing fear, a quiet panic that the Duchess's public persona might not survive what's coming next, because if this appeal is granted, the discovery phase begins. And that's the nightmare Meghan's team has desperately tried to avoid. Emails, text chains, production notes, everything could be pulled into the light. The Netflix crew, Oprah's producers, even her PR strategists could be forced to hand over correspondence. That means months of private strategy exposed for the world to see. And according to those close to Samantha's side, they're hunting every last piece of evidence that proves Meghan's story wasn't a spontaneous confession, but a carefully designed script. It's a chase for truth that could destroy the Duchess's empire. Discovery. That single word alone has Meghan's entire legal team losing sleep. Because behind the polished public image, behind the tearful interviews, there might be something much colder control. And if Samantha's team can prove that Meghan deliberately orchestrated this narrative to manipulate the world's sympathy, it won't just shatter her credibility, it'll destroy her brand. As Samantha described in court filings, Meghan wasn't speaking from the heart she was performing. Every word, every pause, every emotional sigh, choreographed to perfection. For years, Meghan and Harry's entire media empire has thrived on their story, the truth that sold books, Netflix deals, and global influence. But now, that story might be flipped upside down, revealing a chilling new reality that the Duchess of Sussex used her pain as a weaponized marketing tool. Speak. I wanted my kids to be raised with their grandparents. The courtroom recordings reveal raw emotion, Samantha sharing how deeply she was hurt not just by the lies, but by the betrayal. Her voice cracks as she recalls how her daughter was manipulated, her family torn apart, and right there, the courtroom reportedly went silent. Because for the first time, the public could feel the weight of what this feud truly did, not to the royals, not to the headlines, but to real people. The claim is that Meghan fully understood her words would stir outrage, and that's the dangerous part. Because if the court believes Meghan knew her interviews would trigger hate campaigns, that she understood her fame could unleash mobs, she's not just the storyteller anymore, she becomes the instigator. Samantha's team argues Meghan weaponized her global influence, letting her fans do the dirty work while keeping her hands clean. The documents allegedly show a pattern statements that sparked online fury, timed perfectly with her major media appearances. And now, legal experts say this could mark a historic shift in celebrity accountability. If proven, this case could redefine how defamation law treats social media influence, because it's no longer about what's said on TV, it's about what those words ignite online. This battle has outgrown Meghan. That's the terrifying truth. The lawsuit isn't just threatening Meghan's personal reputation, it's threatening the Sussex brand itself. Hollywood insiders are already whispering that executives and sponsors are quietly stepping back, waiting to see how this plays out. The Duchess, once adored as a symbol of resilience, now stands accused of manipulation, deceit, and emotional exploitation. If Samantha wins this case, the fallout could ripple across Meghan's entire career. Production deals might freeze, corporate partnerships could vanish overnight, even her philanthropic projects could be scrutinized for authenticity. This isn't just a legal loss. Meghan fears its total brand collapse. The court isn't simply listening. No. They're digging deeper line by line, claim by claim. Judges are dissecting Meghan's words, comparing her public statements with private communications, and the question haunting every courtroom observer is simple. Was it the truth or was it theater? Because when a duchess, a global icon, and a self-proclaimed advocate for honesty is accused of constructing a narrative for profit, it shakes everything she's built. The phrase being whispered through legal circles? Weaponized storytelling. That's what Samantha's team calls it, the use of emotional storytelling, not to heal, but to harm. Not to share truth, but to control perception. They claim Meghan's every interview, every tear-filled confession, wasn't an act of vulnerability, it was strategy. And that behind those words, there was a team crafting her truth like a PR campaign. Her father is recovering from a stroke. Could you believe she doesn't have a father? That line, replayed endlessly in the courtroom, has become a symbol of what this case represents. The contrast between the image Meghan sold and the pain it caused those she left behind. Legal analysts now warn that if Meghan loses, it won't just be a courtroom verdict. It'll be a cultural turning point, proof that even the most powerful stories can backfire when built on manipulation. So now, here we are, the world divided once again. Supporters call Samantha bitter, desperate for attention. Critics call Meghan a master manipulator who finally pushed too far. But behind the noise, the flashing cameras, and the royal drama lies a deeper story, one of family, fame, and fallout. Samantha isn't just fighting for money or revenge. She's fighting for her name, for her sanity, for the simple human right not to be erased by a story that wasn't hers to begin with. And Meghan, she's fighting for something even bigger, her legacy. Because once this trial unfolds, every detail of her life, every truth she ever told could be ripped open and questioned. The Duchess, who once spoke about healing and freedom, might now be forced to defend herself against claims of control and deception. And when those private messages, production notes, and unseen emails come to light, the world will finally know which Meghan Markle is real, the one who shared her pain or the one who used it. Final words, this courtroom battle is no longer just a lawsuit. It's a reckoning one that could reshape not only Meghan's future, but the entire landscape of celebrity storytelling. And as the gavel prepares to drop, one thing's for sure. No amount of PR magic can silence this storm anymore. Because Samantha Markle isn't backing down. Not this time. Not after everything. And Meghan? For the first time, she may be learning that even the most perfectly crafted narrative can't outrun the truth forever.